Hey team, welcome in. 5 more days till our first team practice. That's crazy. Season's starting earlier and earlier every year. I feel like. Um, Welcome in for my first Coaches Corners video. Instead of a video with tactics and strategy like you guys are usually used to, I'm going to do a handful of videos where we can kind of just chat. This season, just like all the seasons before, I'm going to work on not just training your feet and your lungs, but also our minds, because as most of you know, if we want to play fast, we have to. I hope all of you yelled think fast at home. This season, this fall 2026 season, the superpower I want to talk to you guys about that separates good soccer players from the great ones is a superpower called discipline. I know that usually when you hear the word discipline, it kind of has a negative feeling to it. You might be thinking that you're in trouble, or a teacher yelling at you to sit still, or a coach making you run laps when you're not paying attention. But there's two different kinds of discipline. There is just discipline like what you're thinking of, and then there's self-discipline. And today I want to talk about the difference between the two and how one of them is like controlling your own future, like holding the remote to your own life. Think the standard of discipline like having a remote control, like a television remote control. When someone else has that remote, they get to control the channels. They press the buttons. When your mom says go brush your teeth, she's pressing the button telling you to go do what you need to do. When we're at practice and I say sprint to a cone and back, and you do it, you're doing it because I told you to and I'm watching. That standard is called discipline. You're still doing the right thing when someone else asks you or tells you to do something and you do it, but someone else had to prompt you to do that. Someone else had to press the play button on your remote to get you to go move. Self-discipline is when you hold your own remote. Self-discipline means that nobody's going to have to nag you to go brush your teeth, or nobody's going to have to ask you twice, and nobody has to be watching over your shoulder for you to do the right thing. You press your own play button. You decide to do the hard work, even when I'm not looking, and even when your parents are in the other room. When Jonathan started school about 12 years ago, the school gave me a book called Mindset, and I read it. And it talks about how our brains work. And it talks about two different kinds of people with fixed mindsets and growth mindsets. People with a fixed mindset believe that they are either naturally good at soccer or they're not. And if they have to work hard, to them it means they're not talented. And they don't like self-discipline because that often feels more like a chore to them. But people with a growth mindset know that their brains and their skills are like muscles, and every time they push themselves just a little bit to do something tough, they grow. Growth mindset. Self-discipline is what fuels that growth mindset. If you're choosing to believe that you control how good you can get at soccer, you have a growth mindset. If you only work hard while we're at practice and I'm standing right in front of you, you will only grow a little bit. But if you have the self-discipline to push yourself when no one else is looking, you have no limit at how good at playing the sport you can get, really. So what does that self-discipline look like for someone your age on our team? It's not about perfection. It's not about getting perfect at everything we do or following a routine and never messing up and missing a day. It's about, after you miss a day, getting back up, making those small daily choices of doing those tiny little bits to get better. Here's some examples of a self-disciplined player on our team. When you're at home, get your own water bottle ready. Find your own shin guards. Find your own cleats. Get them in your bag. Have them ready for practice so that your parents don't have to push you to find all your own stuff, so that you can show up to practice and be ready to go. You're holding your own remote control for that. During our drills, if we're doing a passing drill and you don't get to the ball and it goes out of bounds, a disciplined player will go jogging after it because they know that's what I expect you to do, is go get the ball. A self-disciplined player sprints after it because they get that every second that drill's not going is a second that they could have been practicing a skill. During games, when you're tired and your lungs are on fire and the side of your stomach hurts and your legs are telling you need to slow down, your mind needs to tell your legs, I'm going to run back and help defend anyway. Not because my parents expect it, not because I expect it, but because your teammates are counting on you and you're part of our team. On the sidelines, if you aren't playing and you're subbed out, a self-disciplined player is going to focus on the game, watch intently, listen to the coach's instructions, not throw water bottles and pick up grass and scream at their teammates when they're trying to make split last-minute decisions on the pitch. So here's my challenge for you. For those of you that have been on the team before, you know what the grade cards are. This year on the grade cards, there's going to be a coach's corner line, and each one of those can get marked off when you come and you tell me what I want you to tell me at the end of each video. So for this week, to get that marked off, when you see me on Tuesday, I want you to tell me one thing that you're going to do this week when you grab your own remote control. It can be packing your own soccer bag. It can be 5 minutes of footwork in the backyard. It can be doing your dribble up without your mom having to tell you to do it. It can be any little thing that you want to do. It can be remembering to drink plenty of water on the days that you have to practice so that you're hydrated, or using the bathroom before you get here. There's all sorts of things that you can just start, small little steps, and it doesn't have to start off big. Just remember, you use the bathroom. That's 3 more minutes you get to spend at practice instead of having to run off to the bathroom. So remember, Tuesday when you see me, you're going to tell me one thing that you're going to do to be a more self-disciplined soccer player. All right, I'm really looking forward to this season. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.